Been doing a lot of talking about the bad girls and the good girls, but I want to set the record straight, if you will, for a moment. When I talk about bad girls, so called bad girls, and so called good girls, I want to make sure you guys understand that I don't have anything against the so called bad girl by any description. Whatever you say the bad girl is, I'll take that description. Because honestly, for me, some of the worst of the women on record, some of what you guys would probably say are the worst people on the face of this earth, they have always shown favor to me. Always the most caring, generous, kind, and supportive of me. So I don't have anything against the bad girl, the so called bad girl. Through my life's journey, some of the harshest of times, the hardships, the toughest of times, she, that so called bad girl, stood up for me. Now, neither of us, not me, or not you, or not anyone, has the ability to determine in what package will an angel of God show up in. We don't know what that package looks like. We cannot describe the angel from an external description. And conversely, it was the so-called good girl that introduced me to the most hardship, the most pain, the most heartache. And so this is in no way a platform for me to place a halo over the good girl's head, no more than it is for me to campaign that we cast a stone of indictment to the so-called bad girl, just for the record. It is a message. Hashtag relationship is a message to those of you who really are good girls, and you've been duped into believing that you'll benefit from trying to become something that you're not. Now, you don't need to try to compete. Now, if you're a good sister, you don't need to try to compete with the bad girls that are real bad girls, because see, she knows what she's doing and she's good at what she's doing. She's bad to the bone. She's certified bad. She's not in conflict with her conscience. She does not feel 1 ounce of guilt, which makes her good at being bad. Now, if you accidentally fell into the category of the bad girl, and or intentionally or otherwise, and if you know that you are really not bad because you're riddled with guilt, and your consciousness or your conscience eats away at you because of some of the things that you've done that you know you didn't have any business doing, that's all right. And I want to kind of help you to understand the difference and how to maybe get yourself back together and back on the path that you believe that you were intended to be on, if you are in fact a good girl at heart. But you have to get beyond this internal conflict that I've noticed that it exists within a lot of women. It's an internal conflict. What I'm referring to is your problem, sister, is not external. It's internal. You need to stop acting like you don't care if you do. You need to stop saying that it doesn't matter when in fact it does. And don't act like you're not looking for a man or trying to be or trying to find that relationship. Stop acting like you're not trying to do that when in all actuality you are. You know, you need to stop pretending that you don't want to be in a loving marriage when you really deep down inside you do. See, good girls want a good husband. Good girls want to be good wives with a good family, if the truth be known. See, the good girl is not about doing naughty little things. It's just that the good girl wants to do naughty little things with her husband only. She wants to be able to do naughty little things and not be penalized for it. That's the good girl. The truly bad girl doesn't care one way or the other. But your problem as a good girl, sister, is that your body is saying that it wants you to make love. But your mind is saying that you know that you are not in love. And your heart is saying that you want to find true love. And so this conflict, what we have to do is get your heart and your mind and your body pointed in the same direction and pointed towards one man. Well, I guess I'll say as long as we're on the subject, until you get your mind and your heart and your body to agree, even if you try to sneak out and satisfy your physical region, then you will always offend your intellectual self and your emotional self, because you know your heart is not in it and you know that it was not a smart decision. And you will always struggle as long as this internal conflict exists. So I'd say it's time to start up anew. It's time to start up, get a fresh start on the whole thing. But in order to do this, if you're ready for a fresh start, you're going to have to do something real simple, and we're going to call it a relationship reboot. We're going to have to start from scratch. So I need you to get inside your head, get inside your heart, and press Control, Alt, Delete. Then I want you to click Shut Down and Restart. Go ahead and remove the unnecessary files and clean out unwanted emails and text messages and phone numbers. These are only triggers, reminders that you don't need. These are junk files in your head. And what we need to do is free up some memory in your mind and in your heart. Get the old, toxic, negative, the past, get it out so that we can make some space, some RAM, if you will, for these new, wonderful memories to come. Now, here comes the most difficult part. If you expect to ever go forward with something new, you have to first become new yourself. You have to renew your mind by, and I hope it doesn't sound like a cliche, placing some forgiveness in your heart. Forgiveness of yourself, number one, and then forgiveness of others. I know it sounds cliche, but the science is if you don't clean out the bitter flavor of something old, then you will never be able to taste or appreciate the fresh taste of something new. So spit it out, sister. Spit it out, go brush your teeth and give it a good rinse, a good thorough rinse, and just know that that wonderful memory of yours, that could be holding you back. And I'm not asking you to forgive and forget. I'm asking you to delete, though you remember. It's all right to have a good memory, but you need to be able to forgive, though you still remember. So we're going to just delete. That way it doesn't take up the headspace that we need to create this better decision going forward. Now, if you're spending a lot of time saying, if I only knew then what I know now, well, let me tell you, now you know. So after you press Control Alt Delete, go ahead and change your username and password so that nothing negative from your past can gain access to your new choice. And we're going to open up a clean Word file, and I want you to answer 3 simple questions going forward. Which region of your brain will you allow to influence your decision this next time? It can't be a physical decision because the physical changes, and you know that. It can't be an emotional decision because the emotional pendulum is going to swing from one extreme to the next. You have to make sure that your choice, your next choice in a potential mate, is an intellectual decision. Why? Because you can always live with a smart choice, something that you made by thinking, not by feeling. In other words, Michael Jordan, if we decided or we chose to let him take the last shot of the game, the last second shot of the game, then whether he makes it or whether he misses, whether we win or lose the game, we will always be okay with that choice, and we will make that choice over and over again. So when you find your new mate and you make the smart choice, then when you're going through tough times, you can refer back to the fact of, hey, I made the right choice. I made a smart choice. This was a smart decision and I'm sticking to it. It's the power of making a smart choice that carries you through those tough times. Brothers and sisters, you can always live with a smart choice, but you cannot live with a mistake. So it's not the other person. It's not the other people. It's in your ability to make a smart choice that you can live with, because once you make it, you need to stand by your decision because you know you made the right decision. So next time, make the smart choice, or make no choice at all until you can make the smart decision. Guys, I'm only trying to help because I want for you what I want for myself. I want you to be happy. I want you to be healthy. I want you to live a life of longevity and one of fulfillment. But above and beyond all these things combined, I wish upon you many, many blessings. I am looking forward to your response, and I hope this information has been helpful. I've enjoyed sharing it with you. And as always, my name is Jay Jackson.